What is up, guys, and welcome back to our Make the EU Great Again Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode series. And we're in the playoffs. We are in the playoffs. We came in second in our division somehow. I thought we would be for sure a bottom 5 team in the league, and we were for the longest time. But we're in the playoffs now, so we might as well try to win. So the first series, and probably the last series that we will have in the playoffs, is against the San Jose Sharks. Looking at the ratings, they got us by 2 in offense, 4 in defense. We have them by 2 in goalie. And I can't remember if I showed you guys the jerseys in the original video, but these are our home jerseys, and unfortunately I did not customize the away jerseys or the alternate. So those are just normal red and black, I don't know. But this is kind of what I threw together for our home jerseys. I would like the green to be a little bit darker, but other than that, I think it looks pretty nice. Moving on, because that's completely irrelevant and does not matter. We're going to go look at the San Jose Sharks lines, and then after that, we will look at their performance throughout the regular season. So these are our lines. They do not look good, but I don't know. Apparently, they're playoff good. So what are you gonna do? All right. So here are the Sharks lines, and looks like they're led by Jamie Benn. And on his first line, he's got Ryan O'Reilly as the center, and then Yakupov as the right wing. So the right wing there is going to be their weak point, but Jamie Benn is probably pretty damn good. The second line's not bad with Druin, Trocheck, and Wingles. I would say a pretty average second line for a fantasy draft series, but it's a lot better than our second line, as we have a couple of 83s and an 80. So their third line, though, Tom Wilson, Jared McCann, and Devontae Smith-Pelly, couple 83s and 82. This line isn't too scary. It's still probably better than our third line, but a pretty average third line for across the league. The fourth line of Connor Brickley, Matthew Barzal, and Zach Sanford. So Barzal being a guy that was drafted a couple of years ago in real life, a young guy, and he's already getting NHL time. He should be scary for the Sharks going forward. But their fourth line is probably about even with ours. We have a few youngsters on our fourth line as well. Looking at their sort of the player types, not a bunch of skilled guys in this lineup. I mean, even in the top 6, you have O'Reilly, Trocheck, and Wingles all as two-way guys, and then 3 snipers. So 3 snipers and 3 two-way forwards in their top 2 lines, and then still no skill guys down there. The only skill guy in the bottom 6 is Barzal as the fourth line center, so not really in the role that you want to have a skilled guy, but whatever. Just shutting down these lines, particularly the top line where they have 2 snipers, trying to keep them in check will be important for us in this series. And on defense, they have Jacob Trouba and Brent Seabrook as their top pairing, and then Mirko Mueller and TVR, and then Brandon Davidson and Brett Pesce. So nothing too scary here. A pretty good top line, but I feel like our top line is pretty damn good as well, led by Hedman, obviously. And they're not super deep defensively with 3 81s and an 83. So who's their goaltender? Since our goalie's better, they have Korpisalo as an 85. Medium elite potential. Should be pretty good. Not quite great just yet. And they also have Jacob Markstrom as their backup goaltender. We shouldn't see him in this series. So comparing the forward lines of the teams, our first line even or better, and then our the second and third lines are much worse than theirs, and then the fourth line is probably about even. And on defense, the top line, it's close. It could be even, or you could give us the edge a little bit with Hedman being better than Seabrook. The second line, pretty even as well. You could give us the advantage because we have an 82 and an 83 as opposed to an 81 and 83. But their third line has an advantage because we have stuck Radim Bachanek into our NHL team, and we put him on the third pairing as a 73 overall. So hopefully he doesn't get too lit up in this series. And then Robin Lehner is our netminder. I'm gonna go check out the San Jose Sharks season stats. I'm just gonna call them the Sharks from now on. Fuck saying San Jose because I can't do it apparently. We'll call them the Sharks. as we forget which trigger it is to change the team, but I've remembered now, so don't worry. So their top line, Jamie Benn isn't even their top scorer. He's got 75 points, but Drouin is their top scorer from the second line. So holy shit. Ryan O'Reilly, the center of Ben, both have 75. Trocheck and Wingels in the 60s, and Yakupov at 59. So Yakupov's kind of a weak link there on the first line, but their second line is getting insane production as well. So shutting down their top 6 is going to be really important. And then looking at their bottom 6, look at the minuses on some of these guys. That third line there, they're in the minus 20 range. Fourth line, minus double digits as well. And their defensive core, their top pairing's pretty good, averaging about plus 10. And their bottom 4 is not too good as well. Or is not too good. Both pairings, that is. So what we see here is we need to shut down their top 2 forward lines, their top defensive pairing, and then we need to capitalize on the weakness of their bottom 2 lines and their bottom 2 pairings. How did Korpisalo do this season? So he didn't even start the majority of games, so he's only their starter now because of progression. He only played 41 games, 284 GAA, and a 909 save, so we need to really take advantage of that goaltending as well, and then feast on those lower lines of the Sharks. That will be our goal for this series. And yeah, that's probably the keys to the series right there. The Honda keys to the series. If I was good with video editing and graphic design, I would make a little like a screen for the Honda keys to the series for every playoff matchup. But that takes time and skill, and I have some time. But not enough to do that, and I don't really have the desire to do that. But yeah, so whatever. Moving on, first period, we already have a power play. Can we capitalize? No, but we did get a goal from Draisaitl. They got one from Yakupov. Second period, they got one more from Wingels. So we're out shooting them by 9. We're out playing them by quite a bit, but Korpisalo is really keeping them in this game. And looking at the goal scoring, they got one from their first line, and I think Wingels was on their third line. So their third line came up big. We need some depth scoring, though, here in the third period. We need someone, anyone other than that top line, as we had a power play and didn't even get a single shot. Patrick Laine, there we go, top line. Another top line goal for us, but if we can get more scoring, another top line goal from Draisaitl, hell, if they score 3 goals a game, I'll be fine with it. But I was going to say we need more scoring from the bottom 9, or even the defensive core. We're not going to be able to... okay, Victor Hedman, there we go, the empty netter. I was getting nervous there towards the end of the game, but we need to get more scoring from anyone other than that top line. I mean, they scored 3 even strength goals, so that's great. Draisaitl with a 3-point night, and so is Laine, and then Lehner with a 3rd star. So top line showed up huge that game for us, and if they can do that every game of the series, we'll be just fine. But I doubt that they can. So we're gonna need other people to step up throughout the lineup. So headed into game 2, we're up 1-0 in the series. We are still playing in the Europa building in London, and yeah, let's get right to it. First period, we got one from Sebastian Aho. So there we go, a little bit of depth scoring there. He's on the third line, maybe. I think he's on the third line. He might be on the fourth. So, but either way, bottom 6 scoring right there. That's what we needed. Out shooting him by 3. Second period, we get another one from Aho. Fan-fucking-tastic. And then one from Laine as well. So the Finns are showing up big in this game, and we are out shooting them by 16. As Gabbert gets one, that's a good second line goal right there. Out shooting them by 20, my god. So we're better than I thought we were going to be. I guess since it's a fantasy draft and more of the talent is distributed throughout the league and on different teams, and a lot of the teams are somewhat even, our team looking weaker overall. We're not really as weak as you might expect. So that's a Game 2 win. Game 2 shutout there for Robin Lehner. He should be one of the 2 stars along, or one of the 3 stars along with Laine and Aho. Well, I should say along with Aho and then maybe Laine, maybe Gabrick. We'll have to see. But we outshot them by 13. Looks like we probably gave up a little bit there in the third period. Gave up on trying to score goals. So Aho, Lehner, and Rodin. Anton Rodin, the throwaway free agent signing from this offseason that was just assign him to fill a roster spot and be somewhat of an NHL type guy. He comes up with 2 assists there in a playoff game, so that's good. So now we're headed to... Oh, Jesus Christ. So now we're headed to San Jose. As I actually get it out that time and don't call it San Jose or whatever the fuck I was saying earlier. Game 3, up 2-zip. We might start to get the brooms out this game, boys. As Druin scores 1 for the Sharks and Radek Faxa gets 1 for your London Golden Knights. Getting outshot by 5, so that's kind of new for this series. For this playoff series, we've been outshooting them the first 2 games. Second period, all right, they've taken a lead into the third period. They got goals from McCann and Ben, so their first line is showing up again. We got 1 from Korpikoski. They're outshooting us by 11. So this game, Lehner is keeping us into it to a certain extent, whereas we need more help from our offense. We need help from our offense this game to get us back into the game and try to pull out a dub. Getting outshot by double digits still, which is unfortunate. Late in the third period, so kind of a disappointing performance in this game. As I'm calling it before it ends because I know we're gonna lose. Yeah, so we got shot by 11, lose 3-2 in regulation. Not the best performance, but it could have been worse. We could have got blown out. As Ben and McCann, 2 of the goal scores for the Sharks, are first and second star, followed by Korpisalo as the third star. So yeah, even if we get reverse swept from this point, as in the Sharks win 4 straight, I'll still be happy with this season. We're a lot better team than I expected, so hooray. But we're still up in the series, so why am I being so doom and gloomy about it? I don't know. We're still in command. Still haven't lost a home game, and we have home ice advantage. So there we go. First period, nothing. Outshot them by 1. Game 4 in San Jose, kind of a big game. If we can get this game, then the series is all but accounted for, and we've pretty much wrapped it up. But if we lose this game, it's basically a 3-game series. So second period, they got 1 from Barzal, so there's a 4th line goal for the Sharks. Still out shooting them by 4. So Korpisalo is coming up huge in this game, and actually Korpisalo would be a good guy for... Oh, fuck. Druin scores for the Sharks. I was going to say Korpisalo would be a good guy for us to get in the net for this series, but we are stuck with Lehner for the time being, and Korpisalo is still shutting us down. He might get a shutout this game. So it looks like the series is going to be tied 2-2, heading back to the Europa building in London. Mirko Mueller picks up an empty netter. Oh my lord. Mirko Mueller picks up an empty netter for the San Jose Sharks. There we go. I got it that time, boys. I got it. Cheer for me. So Korpisalo with the shutout, first star. Ryan O'Reilly 2 assists. Barzal with a goal. So an unfortunate trip to San Jose. It appears that the home team has a pretty good advantage thus far in this playoff series. Quite a bit of a departure from my Bruins series where we played the Canadiens in the first round of the playoffs, and the home team was 0-7. And unfortunately, we had home ice advantage, so we lost that series. But it looks like whoever wins this series will be facing the Ducks in the second round. They have swept the Sharks. So if we're going to win this series, let's get it over with quick so we can get some rest heading into that series with Anaheim. So first period, nothing, no goals on the board. They still are out shooting us by 1 this period. Second period, we got one from Hemsky. There we go. Got a goal from Alesh Hemsky as he scores about 8 or 9 minutes into the period. Still out shooting them by 4. So third period. Can Robin Lehner, can we ride the back of Robin Lehner here? No, we cannot. As Zach Sanford scores as soon as I say that. Alright, 10 minutes left. What's going to happen? We got a power play. We got a power play. We do not have a power play. We do not have a power play. Jesus Christ. Have we scored a power play goal in this fucking series? I don't know. So we're out shooting by 7. Headed into our first overtime game of the series, and here in game 5. We're at home. Still out shooting them by 8, 9, 10, 11. Jesus Christ. And we take a penalty. We kill it off. Alright, who took the fucking penalty? Who was it? Vili Polka, you're out of here, buddy. Trading you as soon as we get to the draft. Just kidding. 5 minutes left in the period. Come on. This is going to be a long game, man. This is going to be a long game. Jesus Christ. Take a nap here between the intermissions. Just take a quick nap. You got about 15 minutes. We can go listen to Anson Carter and Jeremy Roenick talk about horse shit in the intermission report. Alright, and we're back. Here we go for second overtime of Game 5 of this series. And there we go. Sebastian Aho did not want to listen to another intermission report with Anson Carter and Jeremy Roenick. He finished the game pretty quickly. I was going to make a pun about him being finishing the game, but I decided against that. I couldn't really. It would have been subpar. And I don't want to bring subpar puns into the series. So there we go. Aho gets a good one for us there. A good win for us, I should say. And we are up 3-2 in the series, headed back to San Jose. As the goaltenders were the first 2 stars, and Hemsky, third star with a goal and an assist. So pretty good third line play there in that game. They got both goals for us. And now we're headed back to San Jose. Be nice to close out the series here and not have to return to London for a Game 7. But if we have to, we'll do it. But we're going to win it here. I'm pretty confident in that first period. And I'm not so confident anymore, as they get goals from Wilson and Wingels, the 2 W's, as the Sharks need 2 more W's to win the series. Marion Gabbert gets one for us from right in front of the net. Surprised I didn't call it goaltender interference. They're doubling our shots and doubling our goals. Second period. All right. So they expanded the lead to 2, but Draisaitl brought it back to 1, so that first line's popping up again for us here in Game 6, and Tom Wilson is having himself a night. All right, third period. We're out shooting about 2. We just need some offense. Line A has been quiet for a while, and shit. Who's our top line left winger? He's been quiet. He's been so quiet all series that I forgot who the fuck it was. I forgot who the fuck our top line left winger is. As the third period goes by, we failed to score a goal in 12 minutes of play, and we took a penalty at some point. Fiala got a holding stick minor, and that really hurt us there. 3 stars, probably Korpisalo. Nope. Wilson with 2 goals, Smith Pelly with 2 assists, and Trouba with 1 assist. I don't think we had enough shots on net for Korpisalo to be a star. Alright, so Game 7 in London. Home team is 6-0 in this series. That looks good for us. Bad news is we were actually forced to go to a Game 7, and I do believe that we are the weaker team overall, so I would have to say the edge goes to the Sharks here, slightly. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Go ahead and simulate Game 7, and then we will check on the Tucson Roadrunners, see how they are doing this postseason. So, yeah, big Game 7 here. If we win, we're playing the Ducks in the second round, and if we lose, we're going home to play some golf. Some of that hashtag European golf. First period, Philly Polka, there we go. No longer trading him, as he has scored a goal here in Game 7. So EA really listens to what you say. I said I was going to trade him, so EA was like, you know what, we'll let Polka score a goal here. Second period, nothing happening there. The shots are even, but we are up 1-0. Hopefully, Lehner can continue his fantastic night here in the net and bring us home to the second round, where we will be facing the Anaheim Ducks. The Sharks had a power play. They could not capitalize, as Polka took another fucking penalty. They're severely outshooting us in this period, so it'd be nice if we didn't turtle. It'd be nice if we go down and score a goal on them instead of having to play defense the whole period. But them's the breaks, and we still got the win. So there we go, boys. Headed to the second round of the playoffs with this team. Lehner should be first star, Korpisalo second, and Polka third with 1 goal. So this team, man, this team has made it to the second round of the playoffs, and I'm very, very, very surprised. When I drafted this team, I drafted it with the mindset of picking a bunch of younger guys and a bunch of guys that can grow and that weren't necessarily the highest overalls right now. But apparently I picked a winning team, so whatever, man. We're headed to the second round of the playoffs. We'll be facing the Anaheim Ducks, and they won the division. They beat us out by about 10 or 11 points for the division title. So they're clearly a better team. By 10 or 11 points, I meant 10 or 11 wins. They beat us out by 19 points. But we did score 1 more goal than them this season. But their defense or defense / goaltending is a differentiating factor there for them. We had a better power play. We had a better penalty kill. So special teams, we have the advantage. So they're probably a little bit stronger in 5-on-5 play, especially defensively. So that'll be something to keep an eye on in this series. But yeah, we're going to the second round. We are going to the second round as Tucson. We find them. They are 2-2 so far in this series. Let's see if they can win the game 5 against the San Antonio Rampage. And it's actually the same day as the Ducks game. So what we're gonna have to do is go to sim game here, and we'll have to watch it. Let's watch it. So first period, Shoots scores on Gudlevski's in the first period, and then Turison and Rasmus Anderson get goals on Huso, and A. Padan scores one on Gudlevski's. We had a power play, did not capitalize. They had a power play, did not capitalize. Going to overtime. There we go, boys. Joel Eriksson X scores in overtime on Huso to advance the Tucson Roadrunners into the second round. If I had to guess, I would have figured that our AHL team would have been better than our NHL team. But both teams are in the second round of the playoffs, so that's good news. But the bad news is the Ducks swept their first round matchup and scored 19 more points on the season than us. So we have quite a bit of a challenge ahead of us. So if you want to see if we can pull it out, you better tune in next time. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. Subscribe to us if you have not subscribed yet, to check out and get updates on videos for this series and some other franchise mode series. Watch our EASHL videos, or even some of our MLB The Show videos. We have a guy doing a Road to the Show pitcher series, so if that interests you, go check that out. So yeah. Tune in next time to see if we can beat the Anaheim Ducks in the second round of the playoffs.